Mayor Weldon, thank you very much for your time, taking time here today to talk to us. I want to ask you, first of all, about the condition of the city right now. You're going to deliver your, what would you call, State of the City address coming up in a couple of weeks or a week here in February at City Council. What is the condition of the city?
Well, I think the condition is in great shape. I know that there's problems. There's always problems with everything you have. We put quite a bit of money the last few years in street planning and stormwater drainage, and we've been updating all of our water and sewer lines. We've also been involved in updating the airport. We've added footage onto the runway. We've added 4 new hangar bays for the airport that we can rent. As far as the police station, we've actually got that building completely finished. We continue with training on a regular basis. That's one thing we're very, very firm about is training and getting along with each other and helping the citizens. At the fire department, actually at the fire department, we have not increased staff at the fire department for 40 years. 40 years ago, they did about 350 calls a year. Now they're doing about 700 to 800 a year. So the council did approve for the 2026 budget to add 3 new firemen. So we're excited about that. Recently at the fire department, we've also put in a safe haven baby box. For anyone, a mother, it's very difficult to give their baby, but this is anonymous. You don't have to know who did it. It is the law that this is something that has been put in place to help mothers that cannot care for their children. So that's happened lately. We continue with water and sewer. We've gotten some grants to work on the lead and copper problem. Right now it's kind of on hold, but we got a $4 million grant for that. We also got a $5 million grant for upgrades on sewer and water, and so we're looking forward to that one. And we also got $500,000 for rehab of manholes. So things are going well in the waterworks. We're also in the process of acquiring some new water water associations. Currently, we actually this year had already acquired Highway 9 water. The thing that's coming down from ANRC and even the governor is regionalization of
ANRC
everything.
Meaning?
Arkansas Natural Resources. They actually govern the water and the sewer as far as loans, grants, things like that. They are actually the overseer of the water and sewer departments. We also this year are in the process of acquiring the Perla water. I'm sure a lot of people remember the Perla water situation. CAW, Central Arkansas Water, did become the receivership over that, and they have gotten a lot of grants, got it, up to a point that someone else can acquire it, and so they, came to us and asked if it was something we would want to do. So we did acquire. Hadn't signed the paperwork yet, but we're in the process now of acquiring Perla water. Also, we're also in the process of acquiring Poen water. Currently, Poen, we service Poen, but there's extra money added to their bill for their association. Well, they're having some problems with their sewer system. It needs to be redone, and so they're going to get it in a better shape. At that point, we are going to take that also. We will be acquiring Poen. So you'll see a lot of new work going out that direction. Street department, we actually are working this year on a new master street plan. That master street plan has not been redone since 1976, I believe. And so that was one of the goals that I wanted to accomplish before I left. We have a very active planning commission now, is something that we had not had in the past as active as we want it to be. So we've actually been able to the city to hire a consultant that works with the Arkansas Municipal League, and actually he's coming in and helping our planning commission. We're trying to upgrade all of that information. Parks, kind of give you an idea for parks. On the parks, we're going to continue with our skate park. We would like to have done it all at one time, but it was just wasn't cost effective for us. And so we have applied grants for that. Hopefully we'll get them and can actually, get a little more done. But so far, it's going well. It's enough that people can come out and enjoy it. And also, something else is our animal control shelter. We've actually had leased some properties from the county, and we actually put a metal building on there for the overflow of our animals. We just had run out of space. And so in that area, we actually, I think, are keeping our vicious dogs. But we have actually hired 2 ACO officers, and one of them has had all the training and credentials that he needs, and the other one is in the process of getting that. And so we actually also applied for another grant. Hopefully we'll get it to completely remodel the old animal shelter because it's in need for major repair.
Well, let me ask you, while you're talking about animals, there's a lot of complaint about loose animals in the town. And there's been a lot of talk also about some sort of spay and neuter laws. What is the city council doing? What are you doing? What have you done to try and to fix this problem and institute an ordinance that would be a spay and neuter law?
Okay. Well, we actually have updated our ordinances lately. It did not require that you must do it because I'll be honest with you, with the poverty level at what it is here in our area, some people would find it very difficult to have the money to do that. But we have on our ordinance, if it is required to license your dog if you live in the city of Malvern. If you have them spayed or neutered, it's $5 a year. If they're not spayed and neutered, it's $50 per dog. So we've also increased the fines for animals at large. We've actually, like I say, we're excited about the 2 new ACO officers. We think that will make a difference. A lot of the problem is someone will call and say, there is a dog running around. Well, I immediately call ACO. They go out. The dog is no longer there. And a lot of times that's the problem. It's just catching the dog at the right time. We also have a situation where a particular dog is really tearing things up. And so we actually put out live traps trying to catch them. But, I do commend our guys. Every call that we are given, they go out and check it out. If we get a call that says an animal's not being fed or if they're not housed properly, we do go out and take care of it. Now, it's kind of like code enforcement. We hadn't gone there yet, but code enforcement, it's the same scenario. We go out, we check out the problem, we tell them what to do to solve that problem. We go back out to check and see if the problem has been solved. If not, then we give a citation. Well, then once the citation is given, a court date is given to them, and then that goes before the district judge, Judge Gibson. Now, once we give them a citation, it's out of our control. Now, we can go back and give, repeated citations for the same thing, but if they don't get into court and get a ruling on it, then it makes it difficult, or it's almost like we're spinning our wheels because...
Does the city attorney, does she have to go along on these trials?
Yes. She is our prosecuting attorney for the city. That's what she does. She actually tries every case, every citation, every police ticket. She actually is our prosecuting attorney on all of those tickets. So we've actually... and I don't have the number in front of me, and I apologize, but we've actually had a lot of animal abuse cases, and so far, to my knowledge, we've not lost any. Our people are really good to document, and therefore it makes it easier to actually present your case there in court, city council.
We hear a lot of complaints online, and I think that a lot of people don't realize that instead of complaining, if they would go to the city council meeting and sit down and ask for the opportunity to speak, it's the citizen thing to do. It's what their right is as citizens. Do you encourage this? Or do we get a lot of people that come to the meetings, or is it just stay away and complain?
I always I mean, I'll always talk to them about coming to the city council meeting. If I cannot solve your problem, and, we really like to go through the channel. If you've got a water problem, first go to the waterworks. If you've got a police problem, if you have a complaint, please go to our police chief. And the reason is, I feel like they need the opportunity to solve their own problem. If not, then my door is always open to anyone that has a problem. But anyone that I talk to, if it's something beyond my control that I can do right then I do encourage them. And I always encourage them, go to the city council meeting, first Monday and second Monday of every month. And a lot of times there's problems, though, that can be solved at this level. But if you feel you haven't had any satisfaction on what you've complained about or problems that you've got, always feel free. That is what, that's what it's for, is to, be a say-so for the people here in the city of Malvern.
Let's change horses for a second here. Coming up at the February meeting is the second reading of an ordinance to approve an entertainment district for downtown. I think a lot of people misunderstand what an entertainment district really is. Tell me about, from your standpoint, what it is, what this ordinance will do, so that folks have a little bit better understanding of it. Because some people think they're going to put a building in, or we're going to expend a lot of money. And I don't think it costs any money at all.
No, it doesn't cost any money at all. Basically what it is you look on a map and you determine, a lot of times it's your downtown area, and you determine just something to make it a little more people-friendly. And this does not mean that I'm encouraging or discouraging alcohol. That's a personal choice, I feel like. But at the same time, it gives people the opportunity that they could go into licensed bars or restaurants that would have a drink. And there are specifics you have to follow. It has to be in a certain size cup with the name of the business on it. But you actually could walk down Main Street and decide you wanted to go to some of our shops and, take your drink with you. It's not necessarily what would be called open carry, because it has to meet the regulations of what's required. And you can only do it in this particular area, which is basically around the Main Street. It excludes city and county offices. And I think it's just a way of downtown trying to sell their items. For instance, we have the Thursday nights once a month, that's Sip and Shop. Well, that would give people an opportunity to actually go buy coffee records, eat something, or if we have another restaurant in the area, eat something, get a drink, but yet you can continue on and go shopping with that drink. And that's what a lot of people think it might help entice the people downtown, I believe.
Well, a lot of festivals, also
festivals.
Small festivals.
Yes, very small.
Not like Brickfest was,
Right,
but very
right.
small.
Yes.
Music, concerts, something like that.
And anyone that offers has to meet state ABC laws. There's nothing around this. The city has no control over whether or not you can sell alcohol. It's strictly ABC. It's just allowing you to take a drink down the street, to go to one business to another to shop.
Same as Hot Springs does on Oktoberfest.
Yes,
They're
yes.
allowed to be in one area of the city. They're near the parking deck.
Exactly. Yes, you're totally right. Yes.
So let me change subjects on you here just a little bit. This is your last year in office. You've been in what now?
This will be my 12th year.
12th year. Okay. What have you accomplished over those 12 years that you are most proud of?
Okay. Well, first, let me tell you, when I came in, there had been little or no maintenance to a level that we needed in many years. And so the first 4 years was nothing but being reactive to everything that was happening, all the stormwater drainage problems, all the water and sewer problems, street problems. There were just a lot of things. Our police were in a building that was, or an office area. We were actually leasing that from the county. We had totally outgrown that. Our fire department on Moline Street was actually sinking, and the actual concrete blocks were actually literally crumbling away. And so there was a lot of, I feel like, disrepair that should have been addressed. And so that was the first thing that I saw a need for. And so that's where I pretty much put all my effort into. And so during that time, I'm going to say, now this is not from the very beginning, but over probably the last 5-6 years, the city has spent, probably around $1.1 million on nothing but stormwater. And we're getting to a point now that we've actually put plans in place to address some of the future issues instead of being as reactive as we've had to be, if that makes sense.
In other words, instead of patching the dike, you put a new
Yes.
dike on.
And that's exactly what I have told the street department, the waterworks, anyone in that. Let's don't do a temporary fix. Let's fix it so it's going to last many years to come. And that was the problem. For instance, stormwater. Pipes had been put in. They were made out of galvanized pipe. Well, it's rusted away, and so we're trying to put things in that will last a while. Also on streets, I know that streets are very expensive. When I came, a mile of street was probably maybe $130,000. Now it's doubled or tripled that, depending on what the asphalt cost. But I will say that over the last probably since COVID, we've been able to spend $1.6 million in street repairs and overlays and kind of a mill fill type. It's not a slurry seal, but it's more of an overlay on the street. So we've been able to resurface over half of the miles that are in the city. The city has about 88 miles, and we were able to do that over half the miles. Are there still problems? Of course, there's always going to be. Utility companies that have torn up our streets, we have no control over that. And, I tell people, unfortunately, it's a state law. You have to give them their right of way. And we have, told them they've got to fix the street back, but we are constantly having to go back and repair those. So in our master street plan, we're going to include what the expectation we have for these utilities put in place. Also, because of our street preservation, we actually received a national award in 2023 for street preservation, and so we were really proud of that. Probably very proud of getting in the police department, the new police station. It was needed so badly. We had completely run out of space. We had our evidence locker in a separate building. We just didn't have room at all for any kind of growth. So the council approved to start looking for a building, and so we actually bought it. We were able to get it remodeled. We also have 2 offices for the state police in there with us, and we have a new city council room. I'm real proud of that one. Currently, we've been meeting in the courtroom here in the city hall. The new fire department on Moline Street is a beautiful building. It's actually, we built it for growth. We will be able to house any female firefighters if we end up hiring some. We also moved our code enforcement over to the fire department. When I came, I had to make some changes, and I had to kind of start over with our code enforcement. And so at the time, it was more of a standalone department, but to me, the fire marshal already inspects commercial buildings, and I felt like that would be a great fit. So actually, the fire department has taken over the code office, which is under the fire chief, but it is a separate area. But we actually moved that over to the Moline department. Water and sewer. I mean, we have come a long way. About the time we did the fire department, we borrowed, I think it was, issued a bond for about $15.6 million, I believe it was. And so we were able to upgrade our water treatment plant. We were able to put some new lines in and bypass the old tank under the viaduct, which was a huge thing. It really helps the quality of our water, the quantity of our water, and so we're excited about that. And we continue to grow. I mean, we are constantly trying to repair and replace, and but here again, it's an ongoing thing. Our sewer department, when I came, we were almost at capacity. We've been able to do rehab work there to enlarge the capacity and should be able to handle most anything that comes along, or be able to grow with what the needs are.
But there's only a limited supply of money.
Exactly.
All
That's
right.
the problem.
So that brings around growth.
Yes.
What is being done for Malvern to grow, to increase a revenue stream back to the city government so that they can return it back to the city? What's being done on growth? Are we offering incentives to anybody? Is there an organized effort to go out there and recruit companies, recruit jobs, in other words? What's going on in that area?
Well, myself personally, I am on the Economic Development Committee, and I try to stay in the know, stay on top of what's going on. I actually have sent a lot of letters myself to different businesses, restaurants, things, trying to encourage them to take a look at us. I've tried to make it as easy as we can when it comes to code enforcement. We only require what the state requires. We don't require anything different. We do, but there are requirements that have to be made at the state level, and we do go by those requirements. We do encourage, any kind of calls. Anytime we get calls, we try to return all the calls. We try to get some information, but a lot of them, if they are looking in your area, they've already found out what's going on. The first thing they look at, usually a lot of times, is the school system. They will look at the workforce. There's a lot of things that they look at. A lot of time with internet like it is now, they've done a lot of the preliminary work on what is available in the city. But, we are constantly trying to reach out to different businesses and groups, and anytime they call, we try to make it available, any kind of information they need as quickly as possible. And we have tried to work, with the county, we actually were able to get some grants to upgrade the sewer in the new industrial park there on I-30. We have also worked out there some with, the water tank and things rehabbed. And we've tried to do things to make utilities available for anyone that would want to come in. And we're active trying to contact, like I say, different ones to come into the city or county. And so it's difficult. I think too, you can make 3 contacts or 4 contacts, and you have to keep going back to the same people. But I do see a growth since I've been here the last few years. I do not take credit for that. I think downtown, the merchants down there are doing an excellent job. I have tried to, we've actually taken down all the street poles. Taken down all the street poles, and we've actually had those powder coated. We put new lighting in them, and we also recently at Christmas time put some new LED lights up, and they're all ran on computer, and we're going to try to utilize those maybe for different seasons of the year to just kind of show a warmth downtown and just a feeling of, of just warmth of this community, and we're glad you're here. I've also put new LED lights on the viaduct itself. It's a little bit, brighter than it used to be. Currently, we're working on a grant to put up new lights out on the interstate. If you notice, those pods have never been replaced since they were originally put out there. And it's very costly to fix those. And so you actually, they're just very difficult.
You're talking about the tall ones right at the
at the entrance.
And that's Malvern's?
Yes, that's Malvern. Because even though probably whenever the interstate and so forth was put up once, and the state may have paid for those at the time, I'm not sure, but once they do that, then we have to maintain those. So I'm trying to get a grant because the last, just to update those to LEDs and make it brighter and more appealing for people that do drive through our city. We want it to be brighter. And so actually the last bid we got was $68,000. We are trying for a grant, but that is something that we really need to try to work on. The RDOT is going to redo the overpass at Exit 98, and they are going to increase the on and off ramps. At first, we were told it would be in 2026. Well, now I think we're on the list in 2029. because I was holding off to do anything to see kind of what the new upgrades out there was going to create and if they would be replacing any, but I just don't think we can wait.
That's going to be a big project.
Yeah.
It's going to take in a much larger area
Yes.
than what it currently does because of the need for changing the direction of the ramps.
Yes.
So that's going to be a big project. How long do they think that will last?
I think I have not heard anything recently at the beginning. I think they said about 2 years.
Wow, that's going to be an issue for a while.
Yes. And, you know, it's, but they are preparing at some point in time. I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime, but, you know, another 3 lanes on each side. So that's on any of those that they are revamping, they are making sure that they're preparing, I think, for 3 lanes.
All right, let's wrap it up. Tell me what you see for Malvern in 10 years from now. Where do you see the city?
Well, I hope that whomever becomes mayor will realize that there's still a lot. We know there's a lot of work to be made. I mean, on the city, to be done on the city. We've got continuous maintenance cost on streets, continuous maintenance cost on equipment. But what I would like to see happen is just put plans in place to continue trying to work on our infrastructure, because if we don't have our infrastructure in place, then we can't expect anybody to want to live here or work here or build anything here. So I hope it's going to be lots of growth. That's my plan. I hope it will continue to grow down the interstate, both directions. My grandkids live here. They're planning to live here. My great-grandkids are planning to live here, and I want them to have a great place to live and work and play. And, you know, I just want the very best for Malvern. And, you know, but I want again to say, you know, I don't do this by myself. It takes every employee at the city working together, and I just cannot thank them enough for all their dedication, not only to me, but to the city of Malvern.
Mayor Weldon, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it, and best of luck in your final year and whatever your endeavors are after that. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming today, and I just appreciate everything you do for our city.